Okay, so I'm gonna have like a little snack, knowing good and well I shouldn't be eating no Cheetos. But I'm gonna enjoy my grape juice, and I'm gonna enjoy these cheese puffs. And I'm gonna have a little conversation with you guys. Because you know we gotta get it in where we can fit it in. So I did not forget about you guys at all. Okay, so my daughter just came in, so I have to do my thing where I gotta ask her about her day. So, how was your day?
My day was really good.
Oh, okay. Do you know that Gone has been meowing to go outside? So I've been like barely cracking the door. You guys want to see Gone? Gone wants to be a wildcat. Go ahead, Gone. Show yourself. Don't be ashamed. Show yourself. He wants to be a wildcat. I'll explain in just a moment. So, you guys just hang out? Anything exciting?
We went to this rib place.
Rib place?
Yeah, it was a lot like Bibs, my old job.
Oh, okay. Where was it? Like, you never been there before?
No.
You recommend?
Yes.
Like, what are the prices like?
Well, so we got 2 dinners. We both got. I got 1 2 meat. He got a 3 meat. And no, he
3
got,
meat?
he got,
like you mean like ribs? Like you get 2 ribs or 3 ribs? Like
no,
that?
I got a 2 meat and I made it brisket and ribs.
Oh, okay.
2 sides. And he got a 4 rib dinner, and that was like $40.
For both you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, that's like, okay, that's date night dinner, not like feed the whole family dinner. Because that's going to be like $200 trying to feed all you guys.
A whole rack of ribs is like $26, maybe $27.
Just meat?
Yeah, rack of ribs.
Yeah.
And the ribs are very good and very filling.
Oh, okay.
They're very tender. Very good. Very good.
Oh, wow. You said very good more than once, so it must be very good. Okay, see, look. These are our two of our cat. Where'd the cat go? Well, there's Val. So if you hear that, like, those super gumps in the background, that's the dog. And then here comes the other dog. Okay, you guys got to see this. Our family has grown. So there's the other. Okay, and then they know who you are. They know, they know who you are. Okay, so some things that we're going to talk about is why I quit teaching. Why I quit. And I'm going to tell you why Gone wants to be a wildcat. Because he has been, every cat I've ever had has been an indoor cat. He has been an indoor cat. And he got a taste of the outside, like just curious and just creeping outside just a little bit when I sit outside on the patio. Then he'll kind of stay by my feet. But if I'm coming in the house, he's coming in the house. Well, my husband accidentally shut him outside. And I guess he was scared, naked and afraid. Naked and afraid. And perhaps he figured, you know what? It's not so bad out here. Ever since then, when he got shut outside, and he was out there for maybe 2 days. Ever since then, now he disappears. Like when you open the door, he runs outside and he disappears for like 2 days at a time. And then he'll come back 2 days later like nothing's happened. Like, hey, what's up? And go eat. And he'll hang out. Like, he'll spend some time with us. Quality time. Spend some time with us. And then go and leave. I guess to be with his second family. I don't know. And he'll be gone for like 2 days. So he's like, he'll spend 1 day with us. 2 days out in the wild. Come home for a day. I guess to rest. Eat up. Eat as much as he can. Get as much rest as he can. And then go. And I'm like, did you not have a good life? Like, bro, I don't understand. But yeah, he likes to go to the back door and meow to go outside. I guess to be with the homies. I don't know what's going on. I've never had an outdoor cat or an indoor outdoor cat. So help me out, you guys. This is a first time for me. Every cat I have ever had has been a house cat. So I'm having a hard time. Like, I feel like I'm dealing with a rebellious child right now. And I'm having a hard time coping. So help me out. What advice do you have for me? So let's get to the meat and the potatoes of what this video is about. Why I quit teaching. I could do several videos on this, and we'll see. If it starts running long, I'll break it down to another video, and however many videos it takes to really explain, because it's not just, I mean, I guess you could say it's a simple answer, but it's not so simple. Do I love teaching? Yes. Is my passion teaching? Yes. But it's not, don't do that, but it's not enough. It's just not enough. Okay, get down. Get down. You need to go night-night. No. Get down before you fall. It's not enough. It's not enough that I love it. It's not enough that that's my passion, because it was making me grumpy. It was making me, I mean, really, it was making me need more of a break from my own kids. And I was just like, I don't want to be bothered with kids right now. And it was because, and it wasn't like, okay, the last teaching position I had was with K-12. It wasn't a K-12 thing. And, you know, before that, I taught public schools. It wasn't really just, I mean, it's hard to put it into words. It was more the culture of students, the culture of what teachers are held accountable for. And it's hard to just teach. It's difficult to just teach, at least for the schools that I've taught for. And I've been teaching for some rough schools. Now, if you're fortunate enough to get into a private school or a really small community school, then hey, I've heard those teachers don't leave. They don't leave. And I'm sure for good reason. Like, so you have to wait till somebody dies or retires before you can even get a job in one of those types of schools. But for me, it's been more public. That's where all of my experiences is public. And it was just my heart. I've always had a heart to help. Still have a heart to help. I'm like, okay. And then you spend so much time on lesson plans, and you really look for projects, and like, I'm struggling explaining this because I love teaching. I do. Do I miss it sometimes? Yes. And that's why I do substitute teaching. So instead of me being responsible for this set amount of students or this student body, instead of me being responsible, I come in as a substitute where I can just do the fun stuff. And I can just do the teaching. Most substitutes don't teach. I actually teach, especially if I'm in a classroom that I know what I'm doing. I'm like, okay, I can teach this. I know what I'm doing. I can teach this. I help the students. I teach. I don't just sit there and like a babysitter. No digs on people that substitute or whatnot, but you know what I mean. When you're a substitute, you're not responsible for teaching the lesson. You're just really there to give the lesson that the teacher left behind. You don't have to have any teaching experience, right? You just need a clean background. Really. A clean background and availability. And they'd be like, we need a body to be in this classroom in the teacher's absence so we don't have to cancel class. And these kids can still come to school. The teacher would have had stuff prepared for them to do in their absence. That's all you do is a substitute. But I get my fix when I do substitute teaching. So I love teaching. I do, you guys. It was just where instead of teaching to, I like the Montessori style where you're teaching to the, like, when you see that they get it, or you see that the little light bulbs that are going off starts going in this direction, you're like, let's dig into that, let's go in that direction. I love that. But it's so, okay, we need to stick to this because it's going to be on the test. You see what I mean? Like, this is going to be on the test. This is what they're going to be tested over. This is This is what they're going to score the school off of. This is what they're going to rate us off of. So we need to teach this. We got to stick to this. So I know that there's interest in that, but they'll learn that later. So don't worry about that. We need to make sure that they have this. Does that make sense to you? I don't think, I've seen a lot of videos on why teachers are quitting, and I haven't really seen anybody really explain that part of it. And I guess it's the concept of teaching to the test, but we don't know what's on the test. Like, we don't know the test. They don't let us see the test, but we know like the criteria. We know the subject matter that they're going to be tested on. So they want us to focus on that. And it's like, if you deviate from that, and you're like, ooh, this is interesting because they showed an interest in this. And I know this is still going to be nurturing because it's going to compound and it's going to build on these foundational blocks for this. It's like, okay, I don't have time for that because this over here is going to be on the test. But then they say we don't teach to the test. Essentially, we don't, but we do. I don't know if this is making any sense for you guys. That's why I was like, this might be longer than a regular video would be, because I need you guys to really understand like what's going on. And then it's like, especially in the public school system, I was that teacher. I had a student tell me, you are the meanest, no, the nicest, meanest teacher I've ever had, and you're my favorite. And I was like, it kind of sounds like an oxymoron, right? The nicest, meanest teacher, and you're my favorite. And I'm just like, the nicest, meanest teacher. But then I had to break it down into a kid's vocabulary. I was strict, right? Like, I didn't have all of the behavioral issues. Like, I had fights. There were fights, trust me. There were chairs thrown across the room. I've gotten punched. I've gotten kicked. I've gotten called all type of stuff, but everybody knew like that's like out of the ordinary. And those kids came back on their own and apologized, because I didn't have that type of environment in my classroom. It was like something snapped and they had a bad day. It wasn't like, oh, here we go, any day something's gonna pop off. It wasn't like that in my class. And because of that, I don't know if you guys heard this, anyone else saying stuff like this, but because of the fact that I had such good classroom management skills, I would get the students that were labeled as troubled students, right? The troubled ones, the troublemakers, so to speak. And so it was like, oh, they're not listening, send them to Miss Wigfall's class, right? At the time I was Miss Wigfall. Send them to Miss Wigfall's class. And so I would be like, okay, come on in, because we're not going to do that in here. Let's go sit down. Now you got, that's a little bit of my teaching style. Okay, that gumping that you hear, I'm telling you. Like, when I came in here, nobody was thirsty. Nobody wanted any water. Now he's dehydrated. Okay, out. Go night-night. And yes, where some people have commands like kennel or kennel up, I use a softer command and I say night-night, and they know that night-night means to go. They don't have kennels, but they have bedrooms that they go to. So each dog knows what bedroom is their bedroom to go to for night-night. So you say night-night, and they go to their bedroom. Okay? Just let you guys know. But because I was that teacher that could handle those rougher students, they would send them to my class, which I didn't really have a problem with it. It did disrupt my class. It disturbed it. And then people be like, oh, why you in here? And I'm like, we're not doing that. We're not having those conversations. We're having class. You go sit down right there. Class. We're going to focus. Or you're telling me, Ms. Wigfall, I know everything and I'm ready for the test. Go ahead and give me the test right now. So it's up to you. I'm going to go off of what you're telling me by your actions. See, that's my teaching style. You see that? So that's how I would do with my classroom. Like, it just came natural for me. And it's like the mother in me. I treated them like they were my kids in that sense, right? And so the classroom management, I know some of them are like, oh, it's yes, the fighting was a lot. Like, it was like, the fighting on the playground and the fighting in the cafeteria and the fighting in the hallway. That was the exhausting part. My classroom was like a safe space, right? That didn't really go down in my classroom. And if it did, like in a whole school year, it may have happened once, maybe even twice. It wasn't like, oh, something gonna happen. No. If they were gonna pick a class to do something in, it was not going to be my class. It was not. It was not. And but then it was like, can you imagine how much energy to be in like strict mama mode from the time I got to school at like 7:15 in the morning, and I wasn't leaving most of the time until like 4:30, because I would have after school duty, either bus duty or car duty, or there was maybe one day of the week where I didn't have a duty, but it was either bus duty, car duty. So it was like, I'm mama mode from 7 some in the morning until 5. So then I got to go home to my kids and I got to be mama. Okay, come on, your homework. It was exhausting. It made me just crabby. Then it was like, if you were to sit in those meetings, the meetings that they give teachers, like, okay, now this, and this, and we go through all this training, and then it's like new expectations. And okay, now we want to see these results. Now we want you guys to keep data. Like, it's not just about teaching anymore. Now we have to collect data. And then these students that are in this zone, now what can we do different? So then it's like, you want to still challenge the students that are here, but you want to bring up the students that are here, like, down here, but then you don't want your classroom to suffer in like actual class management, because when you're challenging these kids might have questions. They still need help because you're giving them higher level stuff. Then these kids that are struggling have questions and they need help because they're like not understanding, because they're missing foundational skills. Then you got the kids in the middle that are like right on, like pretty much on target on where they should be. They're not advanced and they're not struggling. So then it's like, how are they going to grow when you're one person? Imagine those of you that are parents, if you have more than one child and you're trying to equally give them attention, and they're different ages and they have different personalities and different needs, and you're trying to meet each need, and that's just your children. Now imagine having 28 kids in the classroom and you're trying to do that for 28 kids. Now imagine when I taught 5th grade and we had rotating classrooms. So I had a total of 121 kids. Then I went to middle school. I had like 150 kids. And so it's like, we don't teach to the test, but we do. You need to challenge the kids, but then the kids that aren't understanding are either getting bored and they're acting out. But you need to keep classroom management. So you have to do the lesson plans. You have to make it engaging. Then you're going to be graded. They're going to come in. They're going to grade you. They're going to tell you, did you ask these questions? And how many people answered the questions? Not the same people. Then you got to make sure the people that aren't really volunteering to answer, you still, students hate that, just being called on, but you got to make sure that you don't put them on the spot, but you still find ways to draw them into the conversation without putting them into the spotlight, right? So then it's like, you have to be creative, innovative. You have to be like, you have to be a lot of things at once. And while I love teaching, but they push data. But then at the same time, as a human, you can't let the personal, then you got the students that are like, can I talk to you? And they might even ask you in the middle of class because they're feeling some type of way. Can I talk to you? And you don't want to ignore when a student has a need and they really pull you aside and want to talk to you, but you got this awesome lesson and time is ticking and it's like tick, 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 tick. You don't want to send them to the counselor because they don't relate to the counselor, or they want to talk to you specifically because they respect you and they like you and they want to know your specific opinion on this, or they just want to vent to you because You may be the only one they trust, but you got a whole classroom full of people that you need to get to because you have deadlines. Tests are coming. They're counting down test days, and you got to make sure everybody knows what they need to know. You got holidays and breaks coming, and then evaluation is coming. Are you doing this? You have to collect the data, and maybe this lesson was the lesson where you're going to collect the most data, but a student needs you. And I was so hard on myself. I worked from the time I opened my eyes in the morning until I closed my eyes at night. And then sometimes I would dream that I'm still at work teaching. And then I felt so bad because I didn't have time for my own kids. I was just like, I just need to mentally just put my brain on ice for a moment. Like, I need to just take it out and rub it, massage it, give my brain a spa day, and then I can function again. And so it was like when my kids are like, and then when they're fighting, I'm like, what? I'm like, they don't deserve that. That's not fair. And so initially it was like, I'm just going to take a break because Oliver has so many needs. Then I found the nonprofit sector, and that still, it spoke to my heart on the giving and the helping and the being there and being an advocate for people. And so I decided I'm still going to do substitute teaching, but as far as just having my own classroom, hey, who knows what the future holds? But as of now, there goes Thirsty. Big old Thirsty. But as of now, I've decided to take a break from teaching and just really just dig into the nonprofit world. And then I founded my own nonprofit organization. Well, a nonprofit organization belongs to the community, but I founded one, and it's for NICU families. And I'm so excited about what's to come with this, because I know that the blessings it's just going to, when it busts open, it's going to bust. And there's a need, and you see a need, fill a need. I got that off of a cartoon movie. See a need, fill a need. And that's exactly what this foundation is doing. And so I've been so deep into the nonprofit sector and then my other businesses that I've been running that I've decided not to return to teaching full time, just doing the substitute teaching here and there to just get my fix. And I really haven't had time to do that since February of 2024. But it's there. It's always an option because they're always needing substitute teachers. So in case you guys were wondering like what's going on with Lala, that's what's going on. I did take a break from K-12. I still miss it. Oh my gosh, I miss it. They reached out to me just last month. This is October 2024. They reached out to me September 2024 and asked me would I consider coming back. And I was like, I will consider it. But, Oliver's still at home. So, I don't know. You guys. But those are my reasons why I'm just in the nonprofit sector and haven't picked up teaching full time. And it's not really in my immediate plans to do so. I may not ever do it. I might just stay doing the substitute thing and just being an advocate for people in the nonprofit sector and doing it that way. I like to be involved in the school, so at least I still get my involvement and still give back to the community in a variety of ways. And then I'm back, you guys. I'm giving you guys more time. Consistency. I prayed God to give me the consistency and the energy to still be there for you guys too. I miss you. I miss these chats. I haven't even ate one cheese puff. And my ice is melting. But I miss you guys. So I'm going to tell you guys more about the teaching world, the nonprofit world, businesses. I have a lot of how-tos, a lot of life-changing information, and then you guys get to see our life. See how the kids are growing up, see what's going on in this little slice of my world. And me being in my 40s, oh my gosh. Eye-opening information, you guys. Eye-opening information. And I'm a natural researcher. So as I'm giving input and experiences, you guys are going to get that too. So, and there's just so much I want to share with you guys. I mean, just thinking about it makes me bubble in excitement. But for now, we're right on time because Oliver's crying. TTFN.